Tensions are once again rising in one of the world's most critical maritime choke points, the Strait of Hormuz, where fresh reports of gunfire, naval warnings, and restricted movement have triggered global concern over energy security and a fragile regional ceasefire. Visuals from the Strait of Hormuz show heavy maritime activity, multiple commercial vessels navigating cautiously through dense waters. But sources confirm a dangerous escalation. At least two commercial ships reportedly came under gunfire while attempting to cross the strategic waterway. Several other vessels also reported receiving direct radio warnings from Iranian naval forces, instructing them not to proceed further. Maritime tracking data shows a convoy of around 8 oil tankers moving through the strait, marking the first significant movement of commercial shipping since weeks of conflict disruption in the region. This limited movement signals a cautious reopening, but under strict military oversight and uncertainty. Iran has now announced what it calls the reinstatement of strict military controls over the Strait of Hormuz. In a sharp statement broadcast on state television, a Revolutionary Guards spokesperson accused the United States of maintaining a blockade on Iranian ports and engaging in what it called acts of piracy and maritime theft. The message added that Iran's naval forces remain fully prepared for what it described as new bitter defeats for its adversaries. The Strait of Hormuz remains one of the world's most vital oil transit routes, and any disruption here immediately sends shockwaves through global energy markets. The latest developments now raise fresh fears that shipments of oil and gas could face renewed delays or even partial blockades. Reacting to the escalating situation, US President Donald Trump said diplomatic communication with Tehran is still ongoing. We're talking to them. We'll have some information by the end of the day. We're taking a tough stand. He added that Washington will not allow itself to be blackmailed during negotiations. However, Iran's Deputy Foreign Minister Saeed Khatibzadeh struck a dual tone, insisting Tehran remains open to diplomacy, but not under pressure. He said no further talks with the United States will be scheduled unless there is an understanding guaranteeing Iran's right to uranium enrichment under international law. He emphasized Iran's commitments under the Non-Proliferation Treaty and cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency. The developments come just days after a separate 10-day ceasefire agreement between Israel and Lebanon brokered with US involvement. Iran had earlier signaled a temporary reopening of the strait following that agreement, but the latest naval warnings suggest the calm may once again be fragile. With gunfire reports, naval restrictions, and competing diplomatic signals, the Strait of Hormuz is once again at the center of global tension. Any prolonged disruption here could have immediate consequences for global oil supply, shipping stability, and the already fragile geopolitical balance in West Asia.